Thank you, gentlemen. This is the Group A Division II Boys State Championship game, featuring the champions of Region D, the Blue Devils of Gate City High School. They will face the champions of Region C, the Bobcats of Radford High School. Now let's meet both teams. First, introducing the reserve lineup of the Gate City Blue Devils. Number 3, Caleb Herron. Number 4, Hunter Wolf. Number 14, J.R. Barnes. Number 15, Tyler Hess. Number 20, Micah Bledsoe. Number 22, Brandon Basquette. Number 24, Nick Walls. Number 30, Cody Mays. Number 32, Dylan Kincaid. And number 33, John Brooks. Now presenting the reserve lineup of the Radford Bobcats. Number 4, Minari DeChina. Number 10, Anthony Biano. Number 22, R.J. Jordan. Number 32, Eli Facemeyer. Number 42, Luke Wheeler. Number 44, Drew Cox. And number 50, Zach Ratley. And now today's starting lineups. For Gate City at forward, a 6'2" junior, number 12, Michael Collier. For Radford at forward, a 6'4" sophomore, number 14, Nate Joe. For Gate City at forward, a 6'1" senior, number 34, Luke Irvin. For Radford at forward, a 6'2" junior, number 24, Isaiah Phillips. At center for Gate City, a 6'7" senior, number 44, Andy Arnold. At guard for Radford, a 5'11" junior, number 2, Dean Cook. For Gate City at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 10, Nick Bowen. For Radford at guard, a 5'11" freshman, number 12, Marcus Finley. For Gate City at guard, a 6' junior, number 11, Dylan Jenkins. And for Radford at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 20, Josh Little. Coach for Gate City is Scott Vermillion, and the head coach for Radford is Rick Corbin.
Gate City clad in blue. Radford will wear the home whites today. Last time these teams met on a stage similar to this, the 09 quarterfinals, won by Radford by 1 point. Gate City got here with a quarterfinal win over Graham and a semifinal victory over William Monroe. Quarters over Virginia High for Radford, and then the semifinal victory over Essex. State championship game officials today, John Felker, Mitch Anders, and Scart Arbogast. Sit back and enjoy high school championship basketball today. The Division II boys title will be decided here at the Siegel Center.
Well, it sounded like toughness is going to be a real theme, Gary. We'll see who comes out on top based on that at this point.
In the imaginary circle to jump, and Radford controls. Here's Marcus Finley. Freshman point guard Josh Little, veteran starter, moved to the 2 guard to make room for Finley because he's that good a ball handler. And immediately to the basket, kick across, fumbled and controlled, and then not controlled. Rolls out of bounds, Radford will keep it. And Finley has proved that faith to be worthwhile. Just 30 turnovers in 29 games.
Yeah, that's an amazing number. I mean, you see that for a game sometimes by a team, but he's only turned it over that little amount. It says something for a freshman, and the reason for the move, obviously.
Stick back good there by Isaiah Phillips, and he gets Radford on the board first.
Well, that's part of that toughness Rick Carmody was talking about in the postgame. Got to get in there and get some of those loose balls, play together.
Ball goes inside to Gate City, now kicks back out to Nick Bowen. on the attack down the middle. Ball goes inside to Collier, who fumbles it out under the basket, and that's a turnover.
You know, we watched that Radford game the other night. We went into the post game, and Rick Harmony sat down and said he didn't know if he could be positive tonight. There's the Radford head coach there, but we thought maybe something tragic had happened, but he was really just flabbergasted by his team's performance. I think that was a little bit of a motivational play, too. He had a feeling he was going to face Gate City in the championship today, and he wanted to get his team in the right frame of mind.
A surprise change to the starting lineup. Zach Bradley not starting today, a matchup thing. Formaney deciding to go small. D. Cook in there, and there's D passing it off into the corner. Three-point attempt is no good by Marcus Finley. Gate City now on the attack. Inside touch, one dribble, blocked from behind. Josh Little, and that is going to be tipped several ways and go back to Gate City. Off D. Cook's hand last. Andy Arnold, the 6'7" senior center, is the other main scorer for this Gate City Blue Devil team. 15 points a game, up to 22 points in the playoffs. Three-point attempt there by Luke Irvin, and he's on the board. 3-2 Blue Devils. Radford on the attack. Cook to Little, Little top of the key. Little was the starting point guard on that state championship team 2 years ago that featured Jerome Alexander and Dante Carter. Driving in, ball is short, offensive rebound, up and good. Radford gets the lead, back inside to the big fella. Nice soft touch for Andy Arnold.
Now with Arnold in there at 6'7", it's interesting that Bradley doesn't start. He can match him a little bit at 6'4", but we'll see if that change is made shortly.
Little, three-pointer way off. Offensive rebound by Cook off as well. For the ball, saved in behind the back, but it goes to Gate City. Dylan Jenkins. Crossover dribble, goes all the way to the basket and lays it in. What a move.
Jenkins had 35 in a region final game, so he's capable of stepping up if they need somebody to. They've got 4 guys that can score on this team at any moment.
D. Cook from distance with the three-pointer. Behind the defense, and there's a block attempt, but the foul's going to be called. Isaiah Phillips went up and tried to get it, but the foul is called.
Wow. Here's a moment ago, Jenkins in the open floor. Knife through the defenders. Nice penetration. Back at the other end, the Radford answer for the three. They're coming out matching the intensity to this point.
Arnold misses the first free throw. Caleb Heron checks into the game. Second free throw up and good for Andy Arnold, and he'll take a quick seat in favor of John Brooks. Next dead ball, Zach Bradley will check in for the Bobcats. Cook gives top of the key to Marcus Finley. Wide open, three-pointer, Isaiah Phillips. He's got 5 early on, and that's a 2-point Bobcat lead. Jenkins on the handle, gives way to Caleb Heron. Heron, left wing, three-point attempt is good. Luke Urban.
And that's the thing with this Gate City crowd. They can shoot from anywhere at any time, and Urban certainly is one of those guys.
They fly around for sure. Top of the key, Little tries to hand off, turns it over, loose ball. Now it's going to be controlled by Caleb Heron. Waits for the clear. Now gives it up to Irvin. Irvin's going to shoot another three. This one off the mark. And out of bounds, going to go back to the Bobcats.
There's a couple of looks here at these last 2 buckets. Long distance shots. Good look out front. Phillips able to knock that down, and you can't leave this guy alone. And he had an open look a moment ago but didn't make it. And that brought the Radford coaches off the bench and say, look, you can't leave this guy. Somebody's got to get this guy. You can't leave him wide open.
Gate City's not far from Twin Springs, and back in the 90s, there was a kid at Twin Springs named Stacy Urban, who's the state's all-time leading scorer. Lit it up for over 2,600 points. They are cousins. So Luke Urban gets it honestly.
And if you remember Andrew Rousey from last year, he's second on the list now. He got to meet Stacy Urban here the other night. So a little connection with those two as well. And Rousey was a heck of a player to watch last year, but Rockbridge didn't make it here this year.
Into the corner, wide open, step inside the three-point line. Rebound by Josh Little for the stick back. There's your leadership, doing the little things well.
Leadership is right. Rick Carmody says he's one of the best leaders I've ever had. Ever. And that's a lot of players at Radford in their history.
Inside to Caleb Heron, loses it. The big fella, Andy Arnold, tracks it down. Three-pointer from the outside, no good. Arnold with the offensive rebound, gives it back to Dylan. Dylan Jenkins flashes inside to Irvin. Ball is nearly intercepted by Nate Jones, but Jones is going to get the foul call.
That'll put that super scorer Irvin on the line. But you know what? As many points as he scored, his career high is 28. He got that in the districts earlier this year, but he does it night in, night out.
Hey, let's check in with our third member of our team, Andy Hayes. Andy, what's up?
All right, guys. Hey, listen, the Radford student section and the parents of the players got together, and they got all of these big poster blow-ups made here. Some of the faces not so great. I've even got my own Coach Cormany stickhead here. The only thing missing is one of you two. I don't know where they're at. Back to you.
They don't want any part of that, Andy. Thanks a lot. Students really getting into it here. 13-12 is the Gate City lead. Layup is good. And the Bobcats go back in front by one. Driving down the lane, avoiding the contact and laying it in nicely, Dylan Jenkins.
Radford looked a little confused on defense that time, Gary. Very unusual for them. A couple times down the floor, it looked like they may have been in some type of junk defense, but that time they didn't have much going on defensively.
Josh Little inside to Zach Bradley, but Bradley unable to finish. Well defended by Arnold. Jenkins is going to be fouled by D. Cook.
Take another look here. They're just wide open. Can't let anyone, no matter who you're playing, go down the lane like that.
Marcus Finley checks back in. Little will take a break for the Bobcats. Gate City will trigger. Jenkins gives it to Arnold. Arnold to Bowen. Bowen flashes inside. Pass is defended. Comes to Arnold. Arnold throws it inside. Passing still around. Looking for an opening. Jenkins.
It's either a box in one or a diamond in two is what it almost looks like from Radford right now.
Three-point attempt by Jenkins is no good. Rebound cleared by R.J. Jordan in the game. Radford now on the attack. Cook, top of the key, gives it to Finley. Finley will re-rack. Over on the right wing, Anthony Miano now in the game. Finley will drive left side, put up the shot, front, no. Rebound made by Zach Bradley. He sticks it back and in.
Well, Bradley there to get the follow, but you got to get back on defense as Gate City gets down the floor in a hurry.
Luke Irvin looked to leave it for Arnold, but they lost the continuity there. Hey, the Virginia 529 College Savings Plan offers you flexibility to attend thousands of colleges, public, private, throughout Virginia, the United States, or the world. So where do you want to go to college? Visit Virginia529.com. It's never too early or too late to start saving with Virginia 529. Gate City keeps it on the attack. It'll go outside to Brandon Basquette in the game. Arnold gives it to Bowen. Bowen will run the attack. Ball comes back to Basket. Under the basket. Beautiful inside look. Michael Collier missed the layup. Radford got the rebound. And there was some disagreement over who the foul was actually on.
Well, first they called a jump ball. One of the officials signaled jump ball, and now they've turned it into a foul. And Gate City was upset at the jump ball call, but they would have had the possession arrow. Now they get free throws out of it. So
foul goes on Josh Little. First free throw attempt's no good. They went after it like it was a 1-and-1. Very short rest for Dylan Jenkins and Luke Urban. Both return to the lineup. R.J. Jordan returns and Josh Little will take a seat. 1 point Radford lead, makings of a good one here in the first quarter. Andy Arnold with the second of two. This one goes down. He's got 4 and we're tied up. Marcus Finley on the attack. The freshman point guard. Confident ball handler gives way to R.J. Jordan. Jordan on the right wing. Goes inside to Bradley. Bradley shoots across the lane to a three-point shooter. It is short. Finley short on the three in the corner. Blue Devils will take it the other way.
You know what's interesting now is Josh Little is on Luke Urban.
There's a turnover.
Actually, it's not Josh. I beg your pardon.
Just before the end of the quarter, the heave is no good. So we've played 1 quarter and we've settled nothing. Game tied at 16. Looks like it's going to be a good one. Stay tuned. We are at the Siegel Center.
Two of 6 from the three-point line. 7 of 17 for Radford, 41%. 2 of 5 and 2 of 6 from the three-point line.
Ball was tipped. Luke Urban got possession after the tip, but then the shot was blocked out of bounds. Gate City will retain possession.
Urban has 8 already. Turnover's not a factor at this point, each side with 2. Interesting about Urban, we've seen Josh Little. They think for Radford he's the best defender, and he's covered some outstanding players throughout this tournament. Caleb Tanner of Floyd, Tyler Crockett of Glenborough, and Nicholas Howard recently, but he has not matched up so far with Luke Urban to this point.
Urban, long three is short. Offensive rebound off the side of the backboard, going to be knocked out of bounds. Off of Radford. Gate City will retain possession. All of the VHSL basketball championships streaming live around the world. All you got to do is go online, www.bhsl.playonsports.com. And don't forget, join the conversation on social media. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at PlayOnSports. Tied at 16, early second quarter. Gate City after the turnover. Radford will have possession. Isaiah Phillips will bring it up this time, averaging 15.6 rebounds per game. D. Cook left wing. Cook has his pocket picked by Dylan Jenkins. Jenkins with the easy layup. 6 points for the creative guard who has emerged in the playoffs, a 13-point scorer during the season. Josh Little with the fake, drives in the lane, kicks it back out for the long three-pointer by Nate Jones.
Well, Jones had a good look, but Little set that up by getting in close. Little didn't really have anywhere to shoot, so he had to kick it back out, but get that ball in the lane and kick it back outside. Got to keep on Urban, though.
Urban tries a long three, gets it blocked, follows his shot, takes it to the rack, lays it in. He's in double figures with 10.
Basketball is definitely in his blood. He's heard all the stories from his father and grandfather and the family, and he's continuing all of the accolades and success.
Shot by Cook goes awry. I bet the basketball games at their family reunions are just killer. Jenkins gets his pocket picked by Marcus Finley. Little drives down and gets a steal by Caleb Herron. Tit for tat on the steals.
That's part of what Rick Harmony was talking about the other night about being tough. You just got to set your screens, fight through your screens, take care of the basketball, rebound.
Offensive rebound out of nowhere by Michael Collier. Block out too, right?
Yeah, box out. That's where rebounding starts.
Luke Irvin, over 1,000 points in his career. On the handle, dribbles it off his foot. Isaiah Phillips disrupted him. Cook's off to the races, lays it up and in. D. Cook with 7. Timeout taken by Gate City.
Well, here you see Irvin trying to stay alive, gets a deflection. That was after a block, and then he laid it in, adding to his point total so far. And Cook on the breakout, able to take it all the way in, dodge the defender, and lay it up. So good start for really both teams right now. I think Radford's pleased where they are, and they might want to see if they can, but they know they've got their hands full facing this explosion. And you probably figure, they're not going to as far as their play. So but once the Spider season ends, they're going to start to remodel the Robbins Center. No postseason games will be played there. So
you could tell talking to Coach Carmody the other night, he knew how good this Gate City team was. He says they're one of the toughest teams around. Year in and year out, they play hard and extremely tough.
They shot 54% against William Monroe, so they really can shoot.
After the timeout, Gate City on the attack.
And it's not just shooting, Gary. They had 25 baskets and 17 assists. So they'll give it to their teammates when possible, and that's usually quite a bit.
Dylan Jenkins has it knocked away. It's saved, but then Dylan Jenkins has a shot blocked by Zach Bradley. Bodies fly at midcourt, and a foul is going to be called.
Jenkins kind of got nowhere to go there against the 6'4 Bradley. Tried to take it in and continue to finish the shot, hoping to draw a foul, but Bradley able to handle Jenkins. A little height advantage.
Nick Bowen gets the foul call. Radford will inbound to freshman point guard Marcus Finley. Finley in the corner to Miano. Miano goes inside to Isaiah Phillips, who gets the foul. You'll see Coach Scott Vermillion says his team has improved throughout the season. He said specifically in the playoffs, rebounding and shot selection have improved greatly, and that's why Gate City is standing here in the state championship game.
Well, that'll do a lot of good things for you, particularly if you're able to knock down some of those shots. And they've been able to do quite a bit. They had 41% success from behind the arc against William Monroe. And they come in with 20 straight wins.
Second free throw up and good. 7 points for Isaiah Phillips. Dylan Jenkins, the Gate City point guard. Directing traffic. Dribbles to his right, flashes down in the lane for the big fella. The attempted hook by Andy Arnold, no good. And cleared by Radford. Miano nearly drug his pivot foot, but avoided the travel. Little baseline drive up and good. Acrobatic move along the baseline.
Well, we talked about the lineage of Irvin, but Josh Little's got some lineage too. His mom played at Radford and Virginia Tech as a guard.
Three-pointer is good, and Gate City gets closer. 9 points now for Dylan Jenkins. Three-pointer by Little is long, and Irvin gets it out in front. Hesitates, tries to go to a double team, and the ball is taken away by R.J. Jordan. They're going to call it a jump ball.
Here's Little just a moment ago, hangs in the air, able to keep his balance and stay up long enough to lay it in. At the other end, Jenkins, the open look. Remember, he had 35 in the regionals in one game. So while we talk about these other guys, they've got a four-pronged offense, and they could fill it up quick.
Alternate possession goes to Gate City. Blue Devils on the attack, down by 2. Jenkins straight to the lane, draws the blocking foul, and will get a pair of free throws.
And Jenkins is coming off an 11.8 assist performance earlier, and here he goes again. Little hesitation dribble, gets by the defender, and Jones a little late to get over, called for the block.
Second foul on Nate Jones. Jenkins misses the first free throw. Rick Carmody, known as intense, combative, but successful. 530 wins during his career at Radford, Grayson County, and Rocky Gap.
Radford's shooting percentage has gone up to 45, while Gate City's has come down to 38. So Radford's defense starting to have a little bit of an effect. Rebounds are even at 13, turnovers 6-5. Radford has one more.
Quarter and a half in, Gate City with only 3 players in the scoring column. Marcus Finley on the attack to Josh Little. Little, with all the experience he has as a point guard, almost gives you 2 point guards on the floor. It's a nice luxury to have. Finley, top of the key to Little, left wing. Little drives the lane. Hands off to the big fella, Drew Cox, 6'3" reserve senior, with his first deuce of the game.
Set up by Little, being able to drive in, cause the defense to collapse. Dish it right in. Urban puts his head down.
Great follow on the miss by Michael Collier, his first 2 points of the game. Left wing three-point attempt is short, rebounded by Caleb Herron. Quick outlet pass on the attack. Urban goes the other way and lays it over the rim and in. 12 points for Luke Urban.
Mentioned his career high at 28. He may have a chance to set a new one if he keeps up this pace right now.
Blue Devils back to a 1-point lead. Three-pointer is short, and here go the Blue Devils off to the races again. Caleb Herron tries to hand it off to Michael Collier, but the foul is called.
Look at Urban just push his way in there, and then he throws it up. 3 guys collapse on him, no box out. And here he goes again, little spin move, drop step, lay it in. He is quite a talent with the ball in his hands. And he can put the ball in the bucket.
Anthony Miano on the foul.
You see why he scored 1,000 points in his career, so. It was interesting, Gary, when I read that his career high was 28. I would think it would have been higher than that.
Inside pass to Andy Arnold. Nice job. Little awkward, but very effective. Soft touch once he got the ball out of his hands. 3-point lead for the Blue Devils. Three-pointer in and out, one shot. No, Dylan Jenkins sends it the other way. And that's going to be a charge on Nick Bowen. Tried to pass it across the lane to Luke Urban.
Yeah, what Andy Arnold right now, just take a look at the replay here, he's gassed. He just pulled on his jersey and said, I got to come out. A little winded, getting up and down the floor a few times. He'll get a short break.
Nick Bowen will stay on the floor with those 2 fouls.
On the bench, rubbing the towel behind Coach Vermillion there.
Radford down 3 on the attack with point guard Marcus Finley. D. Cook gives it to Eli Basemeyer in the game. Step back 3, in and out, no good. It's going to be a foul call. I believe that's going to go on number 12, Michael Collier of Gate City. Leaned on the back of Zach Bradley as they were going for that rebound and got the foul. Just the 4th team foul on the Blue Devils. So inbound under the basket. Nearing halftime. It's been a good one. Second quarter action today brought to you by Virginia 529. And that's a tie-up. Good job by Dylan Jenkins. Got his hand in there, drew the tie-up. Radford will keep possession of the ball. And Josh Little will check back into the game with 74 seconds to go in the first half. Little to Finley. Finley to Facemeyer. Isaiah Phillips back to Little. Little's going to draw the foul on Luke Irvin, and that's his second.
It is indeed, and Bobcats trying to set a lot of screens off the ball here.
Finley, three-pointer from the outside by Isaiah Phillips. It's no good. Fight for the offensive rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. Official says it's off Gate City.
Phillips took that shot coming off a screen on the baseline and got the nice open look.
Coach Scott Vermillion directing traffic for his team's defense. Three-pointer, same spot as last time, same result. This one's short. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay again with the Radford Bobcats. And Coach Rick Cormany very animated on the sidelines.
Yeah, he definitely wanted an over-the-back foul, but
now the clock rolls inside 50 seconds to go. Right down the lane, Phillips tries to leave it for Facemeyer, but it goes off his fingertips and incomplete. It'll be an inbounds play for the Gate City Blue Devils. Dylan Jenkins will walk it up. We'll see if Gate City plays for one shot. Luke Irvin gives it high off the glass, no good. Arnold has the rebound taken away from him by Josh Little. And Little's going to be fouled by Dylan Jenkins. Dylan Jenkins gets his first foul. That's 16 fouls for both teams now, so any more fouls will be the 1-and-1. So now Zach Bradley comes out of the game, and the Radford Bobcats go small. That's, of course, is the University of Radford.
Once again, a lot of screens.
Trying to get a shot off. There's a long three. No good. Saved in, but the buzzer sounds, and that's going to be the halftime score. At the half, it's 30-27. Gate City has the lead. 16 more minutes on the way. But first, let's get over to Andy Hayes and check in with Gate City coach Scott Vermillion.
All right, thanks, guys. Here with Coach Vermillion. Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Hard-fought half. Both teams playing extremely hard. Great sportsmanship, great effort. It's wonderful to see kids playing that hard against one another. We've got to sharpen up with the basketball and get some more buckets. I felt like we've given them too many offensive rebounds. If we can box out a little better and get the board and keep them from getting second shots, I feel better about the first half.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, guys, Gate City right now leading Radford 30-27. We'll step aside for a quick break.
On that, it's obviously a significant change, the biggest change in the league in the past 40 years since we changed from 4 classifications back to 3. And now we're going from the 3 to the 6. The purpose of it was to achieve greater equity, greater balance, provide for like-sized schools competing against each other for the state championship, to create new opportunities for schools to compete for a state championship. We'll be going from a little over 90 state champions to 150 perhaps. So I think we've achieved success in that as well. The schools have been very cooperative. They've been working hard to prepare for it. Obviously, we'll have some issues during the coming year, but I think they've made tremendous success and progress on it. They'll be ready to go, and then we'll continue to work on it and monitor it and make it better.
Again, as always, great to talk to you. Thank you for all the hard work. It's been a great time for everyone on
image of one another.
Second half getting underway here at the Siegel Center at VCU. Robert, what's one quick thing you think Rick Cormany might have told his team at halftime?
Well, I think you've got the same thing that you heard from Scott Vermillion. You've got to box out, play hard, continue to get the loose ball plays. I think that's what Radford needs to do a little bit more of. Not that they haven't done some of it in the first half. More of the hustle plays have got to turn to win this game. That's what it's going to take. You're going to have to out-hustle your opponent. It's going to be that type of game.
Little things often make a difference
Yep.
in a game, especially as closely contested as this. Blue Devils on the attack with Dylan Jenkins. Looks for Luke Urban, then goes inside, but overshoots Arnold, and it's intercepted by D. Cook and will go the other way. Little on the handle, gives it up to Marcus Finley.
I mean, it really is intangibles right now, Gary, because both teams have had good plans and they're executing well. It's going to come down to who does those little things, who gets the loose ball, who gets the rebound, who dives on the floor, and that may be what it comes down to decide the game.
Little, top of the key to Phillips. Phillips back to Finley, who'll shoot the three off the front of the rim. No good, cleared by Andy Arnold.
Came around a double screen. Arnold telegraphed that pass, though.
And Marcus Finley was there waiting for it. Gives way to Phillips. Phillips gets the three off, but Andy Arnold gets out there and fouls him. And that's going to be 3 free throws.
Arnold didn't like the foul call, but I'm not sure what he's protesting about. I mean, he did bump into Phillips. And it seemed like a good call.
Isaiah Phillips, 6'2" junior. 15.5 points per game. Misses the first of 3.
Now that goes down to little things there. You make your free throws. 15 out of 31. 16 missed free throws in the semifinal game for Radford. That had Rick Cormany a little bit upset as well.
It's Nate Jones, not Isaiah Phillips. 24-14. What's the difference?
About 7, I think. But I was told there'd be no math anyway.
Nate Jones makes 2 of 3. He's got 5. 1-point game. Gate City with the lead and the ball. Jenkins with the give up. And it's going to fall. Josh Little tried to contest the shot, but Andy Arnold at 6'7" was just too much.
Well, Arnold just powered his way right to this one. Phillips actually got the block, but Arnold gets enough on it and puts it through.
Free throw no good.
Let me give Gate City credit. They get back quickly. The Bobcats every now and then, they like to push the tempo, but Urban gets a cheapie right in front of the Radford bench. That's number 3, and that's kind of a cheap foul. But he didn't really play that too well. Stuck the forearms out and gave the bump, and he might have been able to get away with that if he hadn't have. A lot of times you don't want to see the hand check either, but he really just almost gave you the forearm, and that was a little bit too much, a little bit too obvious.
So the Blue Devils will be without Luke Urban for a few minutes while he sits with 3 fouls. 3-point attempt is short. Marcus Finley tracks down the rebound and the Nate Jones missed. Jones. 6'4" guard. Gives it to D. Cook. Cook back to Finley. Finley to Phillips. Jones misses, follows his own shot, tries to get it again. Josh Little with the rebound. Phillips for 3. That one's long. Another offensive rebound, this one Little. Little tries to drive into the lane and draws the foul.
It's going to go against Arnold again.
Second foul on Arnold, and Little will get a pair.
And it's not a shooting foul. Took place on the drive. It took place well before the shot.
He went to stand on the free throw line feeling. He thought he was going to get a pair.
You do what you can.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
We talked about those little things, remember?
Bobcats will re-rack down by 3. Same margin as halftime. 3-pointer attempt. This one is no good.
And that ends a sequence for Radford where they had several opportunities to put the ball in the basket.
Bobcats struggling from behind the arc badly in this game. Driving in the lane, Jenkins gets the foul. That's going to be the third foul on Josh Little. Dylan Jenkins misses the first free throw, and now Little will take a seat. R.J. Jordan checks in. Along with Robert Fish, Gary Hess, great to have you alongside at the Siegel Center for the state championship games today. 2 more to come after this one. Long outlet pass is over the intended receiver, shall we say. Gate City knocks it out of bounds. Bobcats will set with Marcus Finley, the point guard. Inside, Cook over the basket. He's got 9. D. Cook, 5'11" junior.
Nice drive by Cook. Got a little edge and able to turn the corner. Take another look at Cook here, just quick. He got around. Already 2 fouls on Arnold. He didn't want to pick up the 3rd foul and takes it in with the correct hand from the correct side and lays it in.
It's a major mismatch when you're going off the dribble against a guy that big.
Yeah. Well, plus he didn't really want to get that 3rd foul right now either, I don't think.
No, he really didn't. Jenkins misses the first free throw. Second one is good. So Dylan Jenkins 1 out of 4 from the free throw line this quarter.
It's interesting that Arnold is matched up here with D. Cook by the way they're playing defense.
It's almost playing a one-man zone in the middle.
And maybe that's what Rick Cormany has done by putting Cook in the lineup.
And now Cook hits a 3, and he's the leading scorer in the game for the Bobcats with 12.
Well, Arnold switched off there off the screen, and Cook got lost.
Outlet pass for Cook. Reverse layup is good. Excellent decision to go to the left side of the rim there and got it in. 3-point Bobcat lead. Jenkins with the kick. Oh, yeah. Nick Bowen with his first 3 of the day and a timeout. It's all tied up.
Here's Cook on the breakout a moment ago. A little up and under. Keep the ball away from the defender. The dish out here from the corner. 3-pointer there. At the other end of the floor for Gate City. Up and down we go. Tie it up. Got to make some adjustments maybe now if you're Scott Vermillion just to deal with that Andy Arnold D. Cook matchup. I don't know that that's terribly favorable. It creates problems on the end for Gate City from Radford's offense. On the other side, they're not playing it that way defensively, obviously. If they go with the taller Nate Jones when he's in the game to try to stay a little bit with Arnold. But they're switching around a little bit too. They're not keeping the same man.
They're doing a lot of switching, and Nate Jones is, a perimeter-oriented player, even though he's 6'4". So it's almost like Andy Arnold. They don't know who to put him on defensively when Zach Bradley's not in the game.
Yeah, I think that's good, and that may be why Rick Cormany has done that. No question. Make you take your chances and figure out where you want to put Arnold and which matchup you think is more favorable.
It definitely is a chess match, isn't it? Both coaches address their teams, and with 4:08 to go in the third quarter, ready to go with the Bobcats in possession. Freshman point guard Marcus Finley. Still looking for his first points of the game. Dishes, 3-point attempt, no good. That one was short by Nate Jones.
It was a good open look off the screen, though. He flew out up top. Now Anthony Miano has picked up a personal foul, but boy, he had a real good look at Jones. He just couldn't knock it down.
Luke Irvin back on the floor with his 3 fouls.
And Miano almost got another one.
Miano trying the overplay. They try to give it to Irvin, and it's stolen at midcourt by Phillips. Phillips is fouled, and the ball creeps over the rim and drops through.
And Arnold compounds his mistake with a foul, which is now his 3rd.
Andy Arnold now has 3, and Isaiah Phillips, positioned at midcourt, saw that they were trying to get the ball to Luke Irvin and got right in the passing lane, intercepted it, and went right to the rim.
And the spacing was off a little bit. I don't think Irvin really was anticipating a pass there at that time. But you know that Arnold wanted to get the ball out of his hands and give it to a trusted player, and it backfired on him, and then he committed the foul.
Isaiah Phillips with 10, second Bobcat in double figures today, and Radford leads by 3. 3 with time for Gate City. Arnold gives it to Irvin. Irvin will shoot one of his long threes. Front rim, no. Arnold with the rebound. Gate City will re-rack. Dylan Jenkins drives the lane, knifes through, and misses it. It goes off his fingertips, and the Bobcats will possess.
Well, Gate City had a couple chances, but a good defensive series there from Radford. Even the Irvin 3 out front was contested a bit.
Scott Vermillion exhorting his troops. Don't like those empty possessions. But good things usually happen when Dylan Jenkins drives into the lane. Marcus Finley calls the play, now attacks. Goes to the right, top of the key left, ball goes to Nate Jones. Jones drives down the middle, kicks, 10-footer is no good. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. Gate City will get the ball. Nate Jones had a good look that time, just put too much on it. D. Cook will return, replacing Miano for the Bobcats. Ball into Caleb Herron.
Don't forget that Arnold has 3 fouls, so things could get really interesting if he has to pick up the 4th.
Arnold and Irvin both. Jenkins, 3-pointer, front rim, no. Irvin was fighting for the rebound. Think they might get Isaiah Phillips.
Yeah. His box out, he came under Irvin a little bit. Slid behind him, slid under him just a bit. Irvin got on his back, and
Rick Cormody can't believe that call. Wanted to get Phillips out of the game, and Phillips just committed his 4th foul. Cormody can't believe it.
they tried to get the sub to the bench, and he just couldn't get there fast enough.
The Blue Devils went right back to Irvin, and he went to the basket and drew the foul.
Well, they took advantage of the aggressiveness on the defense of Phillips, who went for the block. And maybe he should have known he had 3 fouls and not commit that 4th. As he came off to the bench, one of the coaches was pointing to his own head as if to say, you know what, you gotta don't forget that you had 3 fouls there, and now he's got 4.
Phillips with 4, Little with 3. That's the foul trouble for Radford. For Gate City, Irvin and Arnold with 3 each. It's going to be an offensive foul.
An illegal screen on Cook.
So the illegal screen gives it back to the Blue Devils with a chance to take the lead with a basket.
Actually, they didn't call it on Cook. They called it on Jordan, didn't they? I thought they called it on Cook for a minute.
First foul on R.J. Jordan. Irvin tries to give it up, loses it in the paint. R.J. Jordan atones by getting the steal. Driving into the lane, shot by Marcus Finley is no good, but Finley tracks down the rebound. Now he falls down. Great hustle by Herron, who lays it up and in. Herron just beat his teammates to the ball. That's exactly the kind of stuff Rick Cormany was talking about the other day. And now Radford loses it out of bounds, but it was knocked. Caleb Herron.
Well, these are the things we're talking about when we We're talking about hustle plays and tenacity and toughness, and both these teams exhibiting that trait.
Heron just beat Nate Jones to the ball from behind.
These two teams are battling, and it will be a tremendous fourth quarter coming up here in a few minutes.
Zach Bradley checks in, and Jones takes a seat. Radford on the handle. Cook drives in, slashes between two defenders and gets it in. Boy, has he had a game today. 16 points.
It's been a good one for the junior coming in.
Dylan Jenkins just lost it out of bounds. Unforced error.
No question about it. Here's another look at Cook. Starts on the perimeter, gets around Irvin between two defenders, and able to lay it right in. And remember, that's now taking place with Arnold out of there. With 3 fouls, you got him on the bench because you don't want him to pick up the fourth. You trust Irvin maybe, although he's still in with 3 fouls, but we'll see Arnold come back in here in a minute as the quarter winds down.
Bobcats on the attack. Finley. 3-point shot is short. Well short. Found nothing. Goes out of bounds. Arnold will check in. Caleb Heron takes a seat. Made a couple of big plays during that stint.
Arnold checks in on the offensive end. We'll see if he stays on the floor for the rest of the quarter.
Jenkins, long 3. Back of the iron, no. Zach Bradley with the clear. Bradley gives it to Finley. Finley on the handle, freshman point guard. Radford will take some time and re-rack. Facemeyer now in the game. Gives it to Cook. Cook on the dribble. Covered by Jenkins. Now he'll give it back to Finley. Radford may play for one shot. Or not. Finley finally gets one to go. His first 2 of the game.
This may be a one-shot possession here, but I think they were going to play for the best shot for Radford at the other end, and ended up with a nice leaner after they got Bradley in the air.
Follow at the buzzer after the leaner by Irvin, who tried to create contact. The follow shot by Michael Collier goes awry. 1 quarter to go. We've got a 3-point game. Don't go anywhere. State championship to be decided coming up from Richmond.
And apply to college.
State championship. We begin the fourth quarter with Radford in possession of the ball.
Well, look at the numbers. 41% for Gate City, 36 for Radford, 37 this half. Gate City's 3 of 9 in this second half. 4 of 22 from 3 for the Bobcats.
Layup up and good, and it's a 5-point Radford lead.
And Luke Irvin's 4 of 10 with 14 points.
Big basket by Josh Little there to start the fourth quarter. Arnold working on the inside, lays it up and in. He's in double digits with 10.
Yeah, they'd like to get the big man involved. He had 21 points in the semifinal win.
D. Cook's 8-footer, no good, off the back iron. Jenkins wastes no time going to the rack. Cook with the rebound. Nate Jones back in the game on the handle. Guarded by Irvin. Gives it right wing to R.J. Jordan. Jordan nearly loses it. Now he'll drive down right side. 3-pointer, no good from Cook. Second. Gonna go the other way.
Going to result in a 1-and-1 for Gate City, and I think it's Luke Irvin that's going to be shooting that 1-and-1.
Wow. Rebound foul. In the NBA, they'd call that a loose ball foul. So the 1-1 for Luke Irvin. Fouls on Zach Bradley.
After the quick start, Gary, it's been a tough offense to come by for Luke Irvin. He opened up 2 of 3, all from the three-point land. Now he's 4 of 10 for the game, but from the line, he connects now 6 of 6.
16 points total. Josh Little on the right side, over in the corner. There's the Marcus Finley shot. Laid up on the rebound and good. Nate Jones with the stick back. He's got 7. Now full court pressure from Rick Cormidy's Bobcats. Now they back off. Nick Bowen in possession of the ball. Bowen gives it up inside. Arnold, that time it's short. Little on the attack. 1-on-3. Knifes through 2 defenders. Goes right to the rack. Gets the basket and the foul. No fear. 1-on-3. Split 2 defenders. Got it up with the left hand. And Arnold fouled him. And 1.
You can be as good a leader as I've ever had, as Rick Cormany says. You can organize the team building activities and be that kind of leader, and you can also do this on the court. And that's what Josh Little has just done. Take it to the whole heart and put it in.
A huge play for Josh Little. You can see they're having a fine game here in the state championship. Misses the free throw. 2 years ago, he was the starting point guard for the team that won the title here. Looking to end his high school career with 2 rings. There's going to be a foul on Zach Bradley. Two free throws for Andy Arnold. Rick Corbin, he's still working it. After hearing him the other night, you never know whether he's fussing at the officials or his own players.
I think he was on one of the officials that time, but
first one by Andy Arnold is long. Isaiah Phillips still hasn't returned to the game with 4 fouls. Arnold makes the second. He now has 11.
Well, I don't think they'll stick him back in just yet, Gary. I think you got a 5-point lead. You get under that 4-minute mark, stick him back in somewhere maybe around, try to get maybe to 3:30. But definitely, I don't think he comes back before the under 4-minute mark. Could be wrong on that, but let's see if they play it that way. Try to keep the lead, keep him on the bench.
Especially if they have the lead.
Right.
Bradley up high. On the dribble, gives way to Little. Little rubs off the screen, gets a little runner. No good. Rebound by Caleb Herron. Herron to Irvin at midcourt. Irvin drives right to the lane and is going to get the offensive foul. Zach Bradley draws the charge. Irvin's got 4. Irvin tried to go around him. Didn't quite work out that way.
Bradley stood right there. It looked like he had pretty good position. Might have leaned a little bit, but not enough to really change that call, I don't think.
D. Cook back in the game. Bobcats' leading scorer today was 16 points. Marcus Finley, freshman point guard, directing the attack. Bobcats with the possession and a 4-point lead. Division II state championship, 4th quarter here. Another deuce for Josh Little. Boy, Little's come up big here in the 4th quarter.
Here he goes right down the lane, and there's no one there to cut him off. It's an easy path to the basket. The ball got loose there.
Made the first guy miss. There was no help defense. Jenkins with another miss. Bradley with the clear.
Gate City might be forcing things a little bit offensively right now. And a timeout from the Radford bench, but the Devils have forced it the last couple times down the floor. So they've got to find a way during this timeout that Radford called with the 6-point advantage. And we still have over 4.5 minutes, so plenty of time left.
Arnold's returning to the game at this point, down 6. Even though they both have 4, Arnold and Irvin have to be in the lineup.
Well, I think at this point you got to figure that and work on that. And I think that's what they'll do.
Hey, don't forget, we want to thank Virginia 529 for their support of this tournament this year, and it's never too early or too late to start saving with Virginia 529. All you got to do is use the promo code PREPAID at virginia529.com. That's PREPAID, and they'll waive the $25 application fee on new accounts. So you waive the fee, save some money, and save for college.
And you put it in the prepaid pay.
There you go.
Take your 25 you saved, stick it right in there.
Stick it right in there, and you're off and running. Good plan. Virginia529.com. Okay, what was Scott Vermillion telling his troops in the huddle, Robert?
Well, I think like we talked about before the break, before that timeout, we're rushing it a little bit. We can take those threes, but let's make sure they're a product of the offense. This team can really shoot, but I think the last couple times down the floor, they haven't had the best offensive possession. So need to get a stop, number one. And then let's work some good, solid offense, get something out of that offense, and work our way back into this game. You know, you're only down by 5, or 6 rather, and you get plenty of time left, but you need to stop here first.
Cook drives under the basket. Little gets it again and puts it right up. Well, so much for that.
Yeah, that obviously wasn't it, was it?
Boy, Josh Little having a big fourth quarter. That's why he was our spotlight player, man. Leader and a player. 3-point attempt short. Knocked out of bounds. Radford gets the ball. Suddenly it's an 8-point game. Bobcats in possession. Late third quarter, early fourth. Little run. And with 4:29 to go, here comes Isaiah Phillips with his 4 fouls.
You know, Nick Bowen took that shot top of the key, had a clean look for a moment, but it closed pretty quickly. So when he decided to take the shot, between the time he decided to take it and took it, it really closed up fast on him.
Finley gives to Little. Under the basket, wide open. D. Cook, great execution, wide open layup. Cook has 18, and suddenly it's a 10-point game. Jenkins on the slash, gets the pass from Bowen and scores.
Yeah, good pass, good cut by Jenkins. Much needed basket, but now back to the other end here. Still plenty of time. 4:10 on the clock. Plenty of time left, but you got to shore up that back line of the defense. Radford's getting easy buckets by beating with a little bit of pressure in the middle of the floor. And by the time the ball gets down to the other end, Gate City's done a great job all night of getting back on defense, but last 2 or 3 possessions, they haven't done that.
D. Cook's had a huge game today with 18 points. Robert?
Well, there's one. He's done a tremendous job. 3-pointers. He's 7 of 11 from the floor for field goals now, 8 of 14. 2 of 5 behind the arc, 18 points, 3 rebounds. And he has really stepped up tonight. And he's been a big part of the offensive package that Rick Hormany's put in to take advantage of some matchup opportunities. See, Gate City's extended the pressure now, like they have earlier, trying to create turnovers, but then Radford beats it, and they're easy buckets at the other end. See?
No-look pass. Phillips, I should say, to Little. And Little gets the and one. Boy, what a fourth quarter for Josh Little.
Well, they are going right through this Gate City pressure, which is trying to create turnovers. And what it's resulting in is easy baskets for Radford at the back end of the defense.
If you miss the steal when you go for the full court press, a good passing team on the backside, there's always going to be opportunities, and that's going to be 5 fouls on Andy Arnold.
Well, it's been great for Josh Little tonight, though. He and D. Cook have had a tremendous night.
Little misses the free throw, but he's still got 10 points already in the fourth quarter. Irvin straight to the basket, draws the blocking foul. It's going to go on Zach Bradley. He's got 3. 2 shots for Luke Irvin.
He doesn't waste any time once Irvin makes his decision to go to the basket.
You saw Scott Vermillion there. shouting instructions to his team. Irvin's first free throw off the mark.
Remember how hot he started the game, Irvin? He's 4 of 10.
Cormany very smartly playing offense, defense with Isaiah Phillips and Zach Bradley. Gets Phillips back in for the offense. Irvin has 17. Jones handles the ball, gets it to Little. Little back to Jones. Cook to Little. Rick Cormany wants a 30-second timeout.
Well, his message to his team in the post-game press conference after the semifinal win was delivered and heard, and they have come out in the second half with that toughness.
Both teams are coming down the stretch of what's been a very exciting and competitive game, and of course, you can get a DVD of this game or any of the VHSL championship games at vhsl.playonsports.com. Very simple. You see that green button that says buy, B-U-I. You click on that on your video or on your video player. Take home that memory of a lifetime. vhsl.playonsports.com. Get the DVD. Radford fans may want to buy some DVDs of this game the way the second half has gone. Nate Jones on the handle. Gives it to Cook, back to Phillips. Phillips to Jones to Little. Little with his pocket picked from behind by Dylan Jenkins.
Well, a lot of times you see a foul called on that move, but must have gotten the ball cleanly.
Bowen to Herron. Herron back to Jenkins. Jenkins will take a long three. Front rim, no. Rebound by Marcus Finley.
Jenkins did it again.
Finley turns it over. Herron. Bodies fall everywhere. Finley. That hurt Finley and Herron. And I believe that's going to be a foul on Radford.
He slipped and undercut. And now he'll get a talk from Rick Cormany.
I'm sure they were just discussing where they're going to have dinner after the game, right?
It's just a freshman guard there. They're playing on the big stage, and how many times have we seen that in this tournament already? Sophomores, freshmen, stepping up big, kids playing a lot more advanced than their years.
Gate City, big win over William Monroe the other night. Came into this game with great confidence. 1 out of 2 there for Caleb Herron. He's got 3. Finley to Jones. Brings it up and gives way to Cook. Radford with an 8-point lead, under 3 minutes left in this Division II championship game. Phillips straight to the basket with the left hand, and good. And Rick Cormany can't believe it, does not want to see his players commit fouls. That's Nate Jones.
Not at this point.
Cormany stomped all the way down to the far sideline. He's an intense guy. But with 530 wins, he clearly knows how to coach.
Well, he's been here before. He knows what this is all about. He knows what it takes to get here. He knows what it takes to succeed here. He knew what it was going to take against Gate City.
Bobcats come all the way down quickly. Little decides to send it back out. Re-racks it to Jones, to Cook. Cross court to Phillips. Phillips is going to be hit by Bowen, and that's going to send him to the line. That's Nick Bowen's third. Isaiah Phillips will go to the line for a 1-and-1. And Rick Cormany, managing those 4 fouls on Isaiah Phillips, will put Zach Bradley at the scorer's table to check in when Phillips is done shooting, provided he can make the second free throw. Of course, he's got to make the first one to get a second one.
One of the comments that Cormany said was Gate City was hungrier than we are, speaking of Radford.
First free throw good by Isaiah Phillips.
And what was interesting, of course, was Gate City hadn't played William Monroe yet. Yet Coach Cormany was making all the references to the Devils after his team won in their semifinal game.
Yeah, you and I both walked away with the distinct impression that he thought they were going to play Gate City. And he was right. Inside, forced by Jenkins, gets his own miss, puts it in, and a timeout taken by Gate City. Blue Devils will have just one timeout left. So Radford has 3 players with at least 14 points. Marcus Finley running the point. Irvin with 17, Jenkins with 16. Arnold has fouled out with 11 for the Blue Devils. I would say this game has lived up to the hype. Radford opened it up a little bit in the second half, but this has been an excellently contested game.
Yeah, and I think the real story for Radford tonight, in addition to what they've been able to do offensively, but, you know, Luke Urban has, what, 16, 17?
17.
He was pretty much held in check. He's averaging 19 a game, but they didn't let him have a big night. You know, they really kept Arnold in check as far as his offensive abilities. You know, Gate City had 4 guys that can really come in and light you up. Dylan Jenkins, 13 points, but not shooting the ball well in the second half. Gate City, Radford picked it up. They've taken more shots in the second half so far than Gate City has, and they've really made life a little bit difficult. Their defense has done a great job.
So both teams get their instructions from their respective coaches. Down the stretch we come here at the Siegel Center. Division II boys title, Radford or Gate City. Handling the pressure with ease, Finley and Jones. Jones to Cook. Cook is going to be fouled by Michael Collier. Bradley will check in for Phillips again. Offense, defense.
That young man right there has been a big part of this performance too. Big night.
First free throw up and good. 19 points. Well, you look back through the regional tournament, semis, championships, D. Cook has not been one of the leading scorers on this team. But tonight, he's got 20. Long three by Dylan Jenkins is no good. Scramble for the loose ball, and that's going to be a held ball call. Gate City will get it back.
But that's a heck of a play by Zach Bradley. He gets the rebound, ends up on the floor as the ball's knocked away. Then he grabs it back and
held on to it with one hand.
Gets a jump ball out of it. And that's part of that toughness in those plays we were talking about that were going to be so important tonight, especially in Rick Cormany's mind when he was thinking about this game last night.
Long three by Bowen is going to be good. 6 points for Nick Bowen. And a whistle and a foul.
Here's a look at that again. Long three-pointer out front. Big shot. A little bit too late, perhaps.
And that's 5 fouls on Luke Irvin.
Well, that's a tough way to end your career. And what a great career it has been.
Checking in for Gate City, Manare Gachana.
And following in the success of his father and grandfather and all the accolades they had as part of the Gate City program. His cousin as well.
Pair of free throws for Marcus Finley. He's got 4. Shot in and out. Stick back is no good. And J.R. Barnes will go to the line.
Fouling is not what you want, obviously, if you're Gate City right now.
First shot up and good. No good by Barnes. Phillips in, Bradley out. Been managing that situation for a while. That one up and good. J.R. Barnes. Another foul. Send Radford to the line. That's going to be 4 on Bowen now, and Marcus Finley back to the line.
You know, the thing about Radford is, even though they had won 27 games and had a 19-game winning streak, they were still somehow searching for consistency, it seemed, at least to them, in their eyes. And maybe they found a little bit of it tonight, especially on the defensive end.
Second half. Long three, nowhere near any good. And Isaiah Phillips, I should say, Jones is going to get fouled. 10-point lead, 70 seconds to go. Radford in great position.
And the Bobcats are normally known for their withering defensive play, and a lot of times you can bring that every night if you. This defense is all about attitude. And you can always play defense, even if the ball's not going in the hole.
Nate Jones averages nearly 13 points a game, has 8 tonight. Misses it. Josh Little with the offensive rebound. Jones is going to be fouled again. J.R. Barnes with the foul.
Well, Gate City not surrendering. They continue to foul. Radford was 15 of 31 from the line in their semifinal win over Essex. So
that one in and out, no good. Barnes with the clear. He'll keep it all the way to the basket. Puts it up, no good. Zach Bradley with the rebound. Barnes will foul him. Bradley will shoot. Now Zach Bradley will get a pair of free throws. So Radford state titles in 2009, 2011, and 59 seconds away from possibly making that 2013 as well. Gate City's had a lot of success, Robert, finishing in the semifinal round in 1997, 2000, and 05, state runner-up in 1999, 07, and 08, but still unable to grab that state championship.
Well, the first time in 5 years for them to get back to this stage, I think.
Yep. Zach Bradley makes them both. He's got 4. Timeout. And the Bobcat fans can taste it. 14-point lead. 59 seconds to go.
And that was just a couple years ago that we sat here and witnessed the Radford boys and girls win state championship titles right here in this very venue.
He also, by the way, runs track, plays on the golf team, has a 4.2 GPA, works in student government. Got a resume you want your daughter to bring home.
I think that's
introductions only, though. 14-point game. Nick Bowen. Nice pass inside, layup up and good. That's Michael Collier. He's got 4. Quick foul.
Well, both teams well at the 10 foul mark for the half, so certainly the Bobcats not interested in fouling at this point, but
yeah,
their total doesn't really matter.
First one by Marcus Finley is good. Hasn't scored a lot today, but 8.4 points. And now Scott Vermillion's going to get a couple of his reserves in the game.
That's a chance to get some applause for some of his players that have played all year. And done a great job all season long.
Zach Bradley, Nate Jones, Isaiah Phillips goes to the sideline. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's for the Radford group too. That's right. I was looking at Gate City earlier. We talked about them, I think, earlier in the week. There goes Josh Little.
Gets a huge hug from Coach Rick Carmody. Josh Little, D. Cook. Free throw good by Marcus Finley.
But, you know, they had 5 losses, and we wondered about that, but they had lost to a team from Germany, from the Bahamas, from Tennessee, and from Kentucky.
There's the miss.
So when it came to state competition, you know, this Gate City squad was very tough.
Jordan, Luke Wheeler in the game. Back to Finley. Freshman point guard will stay on the floor. Drew Cox gives it back to R.J. Jordan. Clock is running. Marcus Finley on the handle. Inside 10. 09, 2011, and 2013. It's not an oddity for the Radford Bobcats. State champions again in Division II. Let the celebration begin in Bobcat country. Final score, Radford defeats Gate City today, 72-58. Coming up, the trophy presentation, post-game activities. D. Cook leads Radford with 20 points. Josh Little had 16. Isaiah Phillips added 14. And that led the way. Rick Cormidy's team finishes 28-2 as the Division II boys state champions. We'll step aside, return to the Siegel Center in just a moment.
Pause for a moment of silence to remember Marshall Johnson.
Defense. Gate City had a little bit of a slip there, unfortunately, when they went to that, trying to create turnovers. They went to a little bit of pressure, and that kind of slowed them down just a little bit. They're going to get the Sportsmanship Award in the honor of Marshall Johnson, of course. That's a pretty significant award. Lynn Burke of the Daily Press presenting it now, but that's a nice honor for any team that's able to achieve that for their conduct, not only here but throughout the season.
Shown by both teams today in this
Means a lot. That means you're doing things the right way.
The
and of course, that's a great trophy to get. It's not the one people want the most, though. That's the one that's going to go to the Radford Bobcats.
Will be presented by Jeff Smith, principal, Mike Brown, assistant principal, and Greg Wade, athletic director of Radford High School, and Greg Irvin, principal, and Brent Roberts, athletic director of Gate City High School. Assisting in the presentation will be members of the VHSL and tournament staff. First, the runner-up players from the Gate City High School Blue Devils. Number 3, Caleb Herron. Number 4, Hunter Wolf. Number 10, Nick Bowen. Number 11, Dylan Jenkins. Number 12, Michael Collier. Number 14, J.R. Barnes. Number 15, Tyler Hess. Number 20, Micah Bledsoe. Number 22, Brendan Basquette. Number 24, Nick Walls. Number 30, Cody Mays. Number 32, Dylan Kincaid. Number 33, John Brooks. Number 34, Luke Irvin. And number 44, Andy Arnold.
Gate City finishes 24-6. Great season. They're honored as
and now the presentation.
Now to the victor goes the spoils.
Head coach Scott Vermillion.
But first, Scott Vermillion, the coach, will come and get the runner-up trophy.
Congratulations to the Gate City Blue Devils on a tremendous season.
Situation. One more round of applause for the state runner-up.
And now with a record of 28-2.
Now to the victor goes the spoils.
From Radford, Virginia, your 2013
It's the Radford Bobcats, the 2013
Division
champions.
II
Let's listen for the
boys
introduction
basketball
of the
champions, the Radford Bobcats. Number 2, D. Cook. Number 4, Bonani DeChina. Number 10, Anthony Miano. Number 12, Marcus Finley. Number 14, Nate Jones. Number 20, Josh Little. Number 22, R.J. Jordan. Number 24, Isaiah Phillips. Number 32, Eli Facemeyer. Number 42, Luke Wheeler. Number 44, Drew Cox. And number 50, Zach Bradley. And now the presentation of the championship trophy to the head coach of the Radford Bobcats, Rick Cormany.
Rick Cormany gets the trophy, gets the handshakes, and today, Robert, he's all smiles. The Radford Bobcats get it done. The final score, 72-58. 4 games down, 2 to go. We'll step aside for a quick break. The Radford Bobcats, the Division II boys, state